Yeah, g'day people. Right, different sort of video today. Yeah. Should be working on this. Should be working on that. And, yeah, a couple of things on the hold up. One is I ran out of gas. I've just got myself another bottle of freaking gas, and it's close to freaking $200 something. Oh, maybe not quite that much, but yeah. Anyway, it's beside the point. Yeah, now I think I need to buy a couple of things still for the van. Anyway, right, point of the video. This is my old dishwasher, and had this been a good unit, I probably would have sought to find out what was actually wrong with it. But I mean, it's never been that great a unit. It's noisy. It's never washed the plates that well. You had to basically rinse all the food off the plates. If you put something in there, especially knives or forks, still the food stuck to them. It'd come out the end of the cycle still with the food stuck to it. So yeah, basically I was pretty happy to get rid of it anyway. So yeah, and wife's got a store credit card that's now got room on. She paid off the last thing she got. So yeah, it's time to get a new one, something better. But yeah, in the process of stripping this down, I did actually find what was wrong with it. It was still working, it was just making a noise. Yeah, there's the fault. This is the pump. Yeah. Chunk of plastic broke or something. Yeah, that would have been what was causing the noise. Yeah, I mean, it was making a lot of noise. It sounded like the thing was going to blow up, But yeah, had it been a good unit, I probably would have investigated a little bit whether I'd have stripped it down this much looking for the... I didn't actually strip it fully down. Wouldn't have had to strip it fully down to find that. Only had to take the plate off the bottom and start inspecting things. But yeah, whether I'd have bothered, I don't know. But as I said, it was never a good unit anyway. Right, I'm just... the whole point of the video here is I'm just going to show what actually is inside a dishwasher and what's useful to me. Now, depending on what you do for a living, for a hobby, for whatever, different things will be useful, for different purposes. So, most of this stuff I'll sort of reuse. I mean, I got a 5-acre property. I got, places around the back of my shed that are hidden from view where I can just store stuff that I may use and I may never use, and it might end up at the tip anyway. But yeah, it's no drama for me to store things. So, and yeah, as I said, the main thing I strip it down for, because I'm always doing repairs to my vehicles, rust work. I do a little bit for other people, mostly favours and a little bit sometimes. But, yeah. So, and I don't ever buy a panel. I've never bought a steel panel in my life. I always reuse stuff. And these sort of casings, they're good. They're like, I don't know, probably 0.9 thick. They're good solid panel. Yeah. You got straight panels, you got bends, you got various things. And like even stainless. But like sometimes like bottoms of guards and that, I'll weld a stainless on there welds up fine just with a regular MIG welder. Like the weld itself, you have to paint it, it'll go rusty, and like you end up painting all of it. But you know, if you put a stainless steel patch in it, that bit's never going to rust again. So, yeah. And I see people collecting scrap. I've never actually cashed it in for scrap, so I don't actually know what it's worth. But yeah, there's sort of interesting shapes if you're making things. You know, if you're making something and you wanted this sort of a shape, it's way easier to find something that's already the right shape that you can use than to try and make that shape, you know. On here, whole lot of rib panel. You ain't got a bead roller, and you need rib panel for something. Huh? All that can be useful. You might need something with a big hole in it, or a small hole. Yeah. Flat panel, and you might need a small hole in it. Oh. You can find something, if you've got something that's already got a right size hole, it's a lot easier than cutting it. Yeah. So, yeah, just things like that. Right, on to it. Next thing, wiring. This is all plenty useful to me. Like most of this is, decent, like 10, 15 amp wire. And they got insulated blade plugs already on them. These, I use these a lot, yeah. I do quite often buy plugs, but I keep ones like this. See, this is the thing, when like I'm a good, 30, 40 k's away from town. So it's a half-hour drive there and back, and $20 worth of petrol to go and get a connection or something, or a screw, or nut and bolt. And just having all these things on hand is really, really useful to me. Yeah, but here's a plug connection. Yeah, 4-wire plug connection, or three pin plug connection, male and female. See? Male and female. See? They'll get used for certain somewhere down the track. Like I keep running out of these. I'm always looking for these. Like on this trailer. I'll need plug connections for the lights and things. So there we are. I've got them. Don't know what this unit is. I just haven't unplugged that yet. It's only light. There's nothing in it. So yeah, it'll probably get thrown in the rubbish pile. It's a capacitor. See, if I was a technical sort of person, well, I'd probably be keeping these too, because I'd know what they're used for. That'll unplug. Fair bit of weight in that. So yeah, it's a little bit of copper in there. I'll throw that in my copper pile. Right. Rubber seals. Yeah, that's pretty big. Might never use that, but I might. Got a whole box of rubber bits. Things like that. Yeah. These are the sort of things that I use regularly. I'm looking for stuff, even a rubber block. You ever know when you're building something, you'll need a chunk of rubber just to, soften something back between it. So I always keep things like that. Click switches. I don't know how many amps they take, but these sort of things are useful to me as well. Like, for instance, you get a brake light switch fails in your car. You can go and buy the proper unit, depending on what it is, could cost you $100. If you're, a little bit cluey about things, you can get something like this. Install it in it, and you fixed it for nothing. Just little things like that useful. Springs are useful to me, see? Got 3 springs out of that. Good size springs. You know, like they're pretty long spring, but springs, because they're all different tensions, and sometimes you're looking for certain tensions or a certain amount of coils, like this will, you know, a spring that length, you know, that'll stretch out to like 3 foot and spring back to shape again. But, you know, if you need one that's 6 inches, you can always, yeah, you can chop it off here, bend the loop back, and you've got a 6-inch spring, or a 3-inch, or a 2-inch. So, yeah, things like that I keep. There's a bit of plate with a hook in it. May never use it, but yeah, it's got 2 5mm threads in it. That could be useful. This is really useful. Dowel bolts. I use these on motorbikes, like for I don't know, rear brakes, for holding casings on, for like plastic side covers and things like that. Things that you make out of fiberglass, you have to have these dowel bolts. Otherwise you can't tighten them up without crushing whatever you're using. On the end of it, a bit of threaded plate. That can be welded into something. You know, like, yeah. I use that on the back of this trailer. So I had lights permanently on here, changed from mine when I built this shell. I welded a couple of plates in here, 8mm threads in it. And that's so that I can bolt, like this VW shell have Volkswagen lights, but it's the VW shell is a bolt-on accessory thing. I can take it off, and I'll also be having a tray or tracks for motorbikes, or things to carry boats on. And for all those other applications, I will need to put the other tail lights back on. So that's why I welded these pieces of threaded plate in here, so that I can bolt the tail lights back on when I need to, quick and easy. So yeah, as I said, bits of threaded plate, really useful. Now, depending on what things that you could do, see, what sort of things you're building, that would probably be really useful as it is. That's a pump. The pump itself, I'm never like to use. But yeah, I'll throw it in my copper pile. Yeah, one day I'll strip all the copper out of that. Same with that. Copper in that, copper in that, copper in that. Not a lot. Yeah, you don't get much out of stripping copper. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort. But if you're like me, there comes times when you've got no other source of income, and you've got to come up with, you know, a couple of $100 to buy something, and then it becomes worth your time to strip it all down because you're in desperate need of it for something, you know. And like I said, you know, there's not much in there. There's probably, I don't know, $10 worth of copper in there. Yeah, take you, I don't know, 15 minutes to half an hour to get it out. It's probably, alloy's not worth much at the moment, so you probably 50 cents worth of alloy, but yeah, it adds up when you've got a lot of it. See, I get a half full wheelie bin out the back, half full with bits and pieces of stuff like that. Yeah, when it gets full, then I'll probably take the time to strip it down, and yeah, I'll be able to get $200-300. So as I said, it all adds up. So yeah, rather than just taking this dishwasher, throwing it in the trailer, it's just it's sort of big, got a bit of weight in it, takes up a lot of room in the trailer, yada yada. It's better for me to strip it down, and I've got less rubbish to take the tip. I've got things that I can get money back from, and a whole lot of stuff that I can use. Right, here's the other thing. See, there's a couple of, not a lot, countersunk 5mm screws. They get used a lot in automotive, and very often you'll be looking for something just like that. 8mm nuts. Pair of them in there. Pins. Use them in carburetors and other applications, you know. They're just useful things to keep. Yeah, self-tapping screws. I probably got 50 to 100 self-tapping screws out of that. Yeah. Even things like this. Take them out. Yeah. I get a tin with plastic bits and pieces. You might not need a spacer for something, or especially a spacer that's insulated. And that'll be just right for what you want to do. So yeah, it's just good things to keep. You know, like, as I said, you need half a dozen self-tapper screws. Yeah, you won't drive half an hour into town, spend $20 to get a $5 packet of screws. You know, it's ridiculous. And now the hour you've wasted, you could have finished building what you were doing, you know, if you have the screws. And as I said, like, the bulk of the screws I got out of this are stainless. Yeah. Mega useful. Put them in things that don't go rusty. Yeah, bit of rubber pipe. Yeah, the pipe itself being that short, not really that useful. But the two clamps are. Yeah, they'll get used for sure. Those two clamps. Yeah. 2 tracks. Yeah. Building a cupboard, or putting some drawers in the cupboard, or you've got a cupboard with drawers and they break. There's a couple of sliding drawer hangers. These may not. They're sort of fairly thick still. I'll probably come. I got a box of brackets and things. I'll throw them in there. May not get used. There's a circuit board. Got a lot of weight in it. Don't know what's actually inside it. There will be copper, but I've sort of heard lately on videos and that there's actually gold inside circuit boards. Now, you'd probably need a lot of it, because you got to use chemicals and stuff to extract it and things. So you wouldn't go to the trouble for 1 or 2 circuit boards, but I'll just throw them out in my wheelie bin. Eventually, if I get a whole big box of them, then it'll probably be worthwhile figuring out how to separate the gold and the copper and everything out of the circuit boards. But as I said, you'd need a lot of them to make it even worth considering. But there's only been a couple of months since I've actually thought about that, and I got probably got 10 circuit boards out there already, just bits and pieces of stuff that I acquired for nothing. See, that's the other thing. If you wouldn't go out and buy something to strip it down, that would defeat the purpose, You strip these down because you got it for nothing. It's rubbish that you're going to throw away, so you see what you can find that's useful out of it. Yeah. Fielders, you think, well, that's pretty useless, throw that away. But no, that mesh, is that real fine mesh? You strain paint through that, oil through that. You can cut it out and replace a filter in a fuel tap, like a motorbike fuel tap. Yeah, there's use for that mesh. So probably when I'm packing this away, I'll chop the plastic out of that and keep the 2 lots of mesh. And there will be a use for that mesh, for sure. Speaking of mesh, stainless steel press mesh. That will also be good to, for something. Or may not. But it's worth keeping just in case. just in case I need something to fit into something that's not going to rust away, that's going to drain water out of it. See? So, yeah, it's another useful thing I keep. Even this stuff, this is the insulation. It's possibly in there for sound deadening, actually, more than anything. Oh, probably to stop vibration too, but see, that's useful for packing inside things, inside panels of things. You can use it in seats. Yeah. There are uses for that. There's another bit under there. So, yeah, I'll fold that up and add it to some other stuff that I've already got. I've already got bits and pieces of stuff like that. And I'm keeping them for a purpose, you know, because I've made a reclining bench. I've taken a bench seat and 2 bucket seats that were both pretty cactus, and I've chopped them apart and I've put the backs of the buckets, I fitted them onto the base of the bench with all the winders and everything else, extended the passenger one over to meet the driver's seat. And so yeah, I've now got a frame for a reclining bench for this panel van. So, and I've kept the foam off both of them, but there'll be a need for more foam and more sorts of things to pack into it. And yeah, I've got to line all the back of it. This is be like a camper van type setup. Like we're not going to have kitchens or anything. A sleeper van is a better idea, better word for it. A traveller. Travel somewhere, stop, sleep in the back. So yeah, so I'm going to need a whole lot of stuff like this to line the back with. So yeah, that's all useful as well. Yeah, and instead of all that big bulky bit of rubbish, this is now basically what I'm throwing away. This little pile here on the top. I'm not sure about the top. There's no metal in it. It's probably just thick plastic or like honeycomb plastic or something. And undecided as to what I'll actually do with that yet. The lid, but yeah, undecided about the racks either. If they were a uniform sort of a square box rack, yeah, I'd probably keep them for storage, but and I could probably I'll throw them. I am looking for racks to store things in, bits of metal and stuff, but yeah, they're too much of a non-useful shape really. So yeah, I'll probably toss them. Anyway, I think we covered everything. That's all the tools I use, not much. It's taken me half an hour to strip all this out. No drama. Yeah. It's a weeknight out in the shed. Got nothing better to do anyway at the moment. Oh, no, that's not correct. I got a lot of things that I really need to do, but yeah, there's no drama. Yeah, these panels here themselves, these are useful. And yeah, I've already got a use for these. See, it's got this rolled edge, folded, rolled under. It's a pity it doesn't go full length because I need about 1500. These are 800 long, but yeah, it's a pity about the section that's missing out of it. But yeah, I'll have to add a bit to that. I found a bit of, I don't know if there's any more rolled panels somewhere. Rolled edge might be down there. I don't know. And I'll have to add a bit onto that. But yeah, that will be used probably 6 inches the bottom of that. And yeah, that's what's gonna make up the skirt. It goes around the back here and joins my 2 mudguards together. So yeah, that's what I was actually hoping to find, and that was the main reason that I stripped it down tonight, because I'm looking for a panel just suitable for this skirt. Yeah. Over in I've got the other half of this, it's under the boxes in the back of the van, but yeah, same as this panel. Yeah. It's got a rolled edge under it. That was the lid off a wash machine. Again, yeah, our old washing machine that blew up. And I stripped it down for panels. That was probably 2 years ago. It's been sitting out in the yard for 2 years, and yeah, found a use for it. As I said, once again, it's like 0.9, 1 mil thick. Yeah, nice strong panel. It's good. Alright, I guess that's, yeah, enough for a ramble. I hope I haven't bored you to death. And yeah, if you're still with us, thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully we'll catch you again. Okay, bye.